basic thing to analyzing characters is not just how the character develops, but also what shapes the character in a sense. That is really the characterization. Characterization is what the writer does, what we write as a character analysis, really. And a writer can characterize a character directly, saying, I don't know, Bob was a quiet, well-behaved boy, which is fairly boring. Or it can be an indirect characterization. That is, the reader will get chances sort of to find out things about the characters based on what they do, what they say, how others react to them. And that is really what we're analyzing most of the time. And there is this lovely acronym called STEAL, which is STEAL. And if you consider each of these 5 sort of items, you can really cover everything. Now, S is speech, that is what and how the character says things. T, thoughts, the wants, right? The motives, the attitudes, the desires, the beliefs. E is effect on others, like relationships, how the character influences other characters, how others comment on the main character. Then actions, what he or she does, obviously, and how the person does it. And then looks, maybe dress, fitness, style. That reveals a lot about a person too, right? Now let's take Frozen and Thor one more time. Maybe starting with Thor. He has this Shakespearean kind of speech, deep voice, very strong, very manly, wow, Thoughts, that is, wants, attitudes. He wants to be king, he wants to be strong, he wants to prove himself. He then leading on to actions. What does he do? He starts a fight that he cannot even win. He puts his friends into danger. He puts his kingdom into danger. So there he gets a powerful sort of, Odin banishes him for that, and that allows him to develop and to become wiser and better person, really. Effect on others, but he's charismatic. He convinces his friends to go on his suicide mission with him. So he's charismatic, he is loved, people cheer for him. He's a cool guy, he's just totally reckless and dangerous and cruel, as they say. And looks, well, he's very fit, very muscular, very sporty, which supports a sort of manliness. And then if we have Frozen, let's take like Anna. Now, there's a backstory, she was like always left alone and pushed away. So her speech, she is very insecure. She's like, oh, you're talking to me? Oh, okay. Her thoughts, her wants, she falls in love with Hans immediately. Is totally into him right away. Her attitude, like, bring it on, give me attention, I don't care, just give me attention. That's all she wants. Effect on others, Hans exploits her because she is so easy to read. Like, she wants attention so desperately. Her speech shows she is so insecure. So Anna is a person that can easily be manipulated, as she is. Then actions. Well, she goes running after her sister without any real plan. That also shows her strong commitment to her love for her. But also she falls in love with the guy immediately and just thinks that is it, let's get married. So she's, not very wise, let's call it. She's naive, really, inexperienced, And then, looks, she looks like neutral, normal, nice, while Elsa is like all super elegant and what have you, and over the top. So we get a pretty clear image of who Anna is, really, right? So that is fairly simple in the end. And overall, we get an image. Anna, shy girl, insecure girl, not really shy, but insecure girl, who really, really wants attention, who really wants love. Thor, super manly, tries to prove himself, tries to be strong and powerful, does completely stupid things to get there. So that says a lot about the characters, right? Now there's one more bit about characters relating to what we just did. And that is how a character's sort of past shapes his or her actions, thoughts, and feelings. Right. As we talked about, or as we said, within the story, the past is sort of woven into the story, right? And we discover that bit by bit, and that makes it interesting and suspenseful and makes a good story. And we can see that in a character's actions, thoughts, and feelings and how they develop, right? So we had that in the Thor film, as we just said. At the beginning, he does completely reckless things, does really stupid things to prove himself. And then his actions lead to consequences. He gets banished, and then he has to act very differently. But what is his past? Well, Odin told him, you have to defend the realm as I did and be a strong king. So that has always been his mind frame, right? The same goes for Loki. He wants to prove himself a worthy king, also doing all the wrong things. Same for Anna. Because she was shut out all the time, she wants to go after her sister, she wants to go after Hans, she wants not to be shut out, she wants to be included, she wants to, be with people. Thoughts and feelings are pretty similar. What drives you? The ones that they have, the actions that they do are driven by their past events, by their, past life experiences. So we know this in everyday life, this is really how human beings are. And we can see this quite well in most stories, really. Or if you take Moana one more time, she has this idea of being chosen by the sea, and because of that, she really wants to go to the sea, and that drives the very beginning of the film, right? That the father says it's too dangerous, you can't go, and she says, "But I need to go. I have this strong urge to go, to I know that I can. I feel it inside myself, right? Because of this first scene of being chosen, which a father doesn't understand." Right, so how does the past influence the present? I think we get a pretty clear image of this in most stories, really. And that also says a lot about how the characters develop and why they have to develop, right?